In a quaint village nestled between towering mountains and serene valleys, lived a girl named Elara. Unlike others, Elara saw not with her eyes, but with her heart. The world around her was a tapestry of sounds and scents, each thread woven into the fabric of her existence. Every morning, she would rise with the sun, feeling its warmth on her skin, guiding her through the familiar paths of her home. The gentle rustle of leaves whispered secrets, while the distant babble of the brook sang lullabies. Elara's world was rich with life, even if she could not see it. Her days were filled with adventure. She would wander the village, her fingers brushing against the rough stones of the cottages, the soft petals of wildflowers, and the sturdy trunks of ancient trees. The villagers knew her well. They admired her courage and resilience. They often shared tales of bravery and magic, stories that ignited her imagination and painted vivid pictures in her mind. But there was a longing within Elara. She yearned for a companion, someone who could understand her in ways words could not express. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting shadows that danced around her, she would sit by the edge of the forest, listening to the night come alive. Little did she know, fate had a remarkable plan in store for her, a plan that would change her life and the kingdom forever. One fateful evening, as Elara sat by the forest's edge, a sound broke through the gentle chorus of night. It was a deep, resonant growl, unlike anything she had ever heard, a sound that vibrated through the ground beneath her feet. Intrigued yet cautious, she turned her head towards the source. Suddenly, the air shimmered, and from the shadows emerged a magnificent creature, a dragon. Its scales glistened like emeralds under the moonlight, and its wings stretched wide, casting an imposing silhouette against the starry sky. Elara felt a rush of fear and wonder. She had heard legends of dragons, but never had she imagined encountering one. As the dragon approached, Elara sensed something unusual. This dragon was not the fearsome beast of nightmares. It was gentle, almost curious. It lowered its massive head, its warm breath enveloping her like a comforting blanket. Elara reached out, her fingers brushing against the cool, smooth scales. In that moment, an unspoken connection formed between them. The dragon, sensing her kindness and bravery, let out a soft rumble, akin to purring. Elara's heart swelled with joy. She had found her companion. The villagers, upon hearing the tales of the dragon's arrival, were filled with a mix of awe and trepidation. Some whispered of doom, while others spoke of the extraordinary bond forming between the girl and the dragon. But Elara felt only a sense of belonging, as if the dragon had been waiting for her all along. Together, they began to explore the vast expanse of the kingdom, discovering hidden valleys and ancient ruins. Elara's laughter echoed through the mountains, and the dragon soared above, painting the sky with its majestic flight. Their bond grew stronger, intertwining their destinies in ways the kingdom could never have foreseen. As days turned into weeks, Elara and her dragon, whom she named Zephyr, forged an extraordinary bond. Their connection deepened, transcending the boundaries of language and sight. Elara learned to understand Zephyr's moods through the vibrations of his growls and the gentle shifts of his massive body. In return, Zephyr became attuned to Elara's emotions, responding with comforting nudges and protective gestures. Together, they embarked on countless adventures, exploring hidden caves adorned with ancient carvings and lush meadows bursting with vibrant flowers. Elara would describe the beauty of the world around her, painting vivid images with her words, while Zephyr listened intently, his eyes sparkling with understanding. One afternoon, while resting atop a sunlit hill, Elara shared her dreams with Zephyr. "I want to show the kingdom that we are not to be feared," she said, her voice filled with determination. "I want them to see that our bond is a gift, not a curse." Zephyr responded with a soft rumble, as if promising to stand by her side. In the village, whispers of their adventures began to spread. Some villagers were enchanted by the tales of the blind girl and her dragon, marveling at their unique friendship. Others, however, were filled with fear and suspicion. They believed a dragon could only bring destruction, and they worried about the repercussions of such a bond. Elara felt the weight of their judgment, but remained resolute. She and Zephyr began to visit the village more often, hoping to bridge the gap between their worlds. At first, the villagers watched from a distance, fear etched on their faces. But as Elara approached with Zephyr by her side, she spoke of kindness and unity, her voice unwavering. One day, a brave child stepped forward, drawn by the warmth radiating from Zephyr. With a trembling hand, the child reached out to touch the dragon's scales. To everyone's surprise, Zephyr lowered his head, allowing the child to feel his gentle presence. Laughter erupted as the child giggled in delight, breaking the ice that had lingered for too long. Elara's heart soared. This was the moment she had hoped for. As more villagers gathered, their fears began to dissipate, replaced by curiosity and wonder. Slowly, the kingdom started to embrace the extraordinary bond between the girl and her dragon, a bond that promised to change their lives forever. As Elara and Zephyr continued to visit the village, the atmosphere began to shift. The once fearful whispers transformed into excited chatter, and the villagers started to see the beauty in their unique bond. However, not everyone was pleased. The king, a stern ruler known for his unwavering sense of order, received reports of the dragon's presence with growing concern. In the grand hall of the castle, the king summoned his advisors. "A dragon in our kingdom? This is madness," he bellowed, his voice echoing off the stone walls. "We cannot allow such a creature to roam freely. It poses a threat to our people." His advisors nodded in agreement, their faces pale with worry. "Your Majesty, we must act swiftly to protect the kingdom," one advisor urged. "We cannot risk the safety of our citizens." Meanwhile, Elara and Zephyr were blissfully unaware of the brewing storm. They spent their days exploring the kingdom, forging deeper connections with the villagers. Children began to play with Zephyr, and families shared stories around fires, celebrating the magic of their friendship. But the king's fears loomed over them like a dark cloud. One evening, as Elara and Zephyr returned from a joyous outing, they were met by a group of armed guards at the village entrance. "By order of the king, you are to be taken into custody," the captain declared, his voice firm. Elara's heart raced. "Why?" "We mean no harm," she pleaded, stepping forward. "Zephyr is my friend. He protects us." The captain's expression softened for a moment, but duty prevailed. "The king has deemed your bond a danger to the realm. You must come with us." Just as despair threatened to engulf her, Zephyr let out a powerful roar, a sound that resonated through the air, shaking the ground beneath them. The villagers gasped, stepping back in awe. Elara placed her hand gently on Zephyr's neck, calming him. "Please, don't be afraid," she said to the villagers. "We can show the king that our bond is a blessing." With a surge of courage, Elara turned to the guards. "Take me to the king. I will speak for us both." The guards hesitated, exchanging glances, but ultimately complied. As they led Elara and Zephyr toward the castle, the villagers followed closely behind, their hearts united in support. Little did they know, this confrontation would determine the fate of their kingdom, a moment that would test the strength of their bond and the willingness of the king to embrace change. As Elara and Zephyr approached the grand castle, the air thickened with tension. Villagers gathered outside, their faces a mixture of fear and hope, while the guards escorted them through the towering gates. The castle's stone walls loomed overhead, casting long shadows that seemed to echo the doubts swirling in Elara's heart. Inside the throne room, the atmosphere was charged with anticipation. The king sat upon his ornate throne, his expression stern and unyielding. "You dare bring a dragon into my presence?" he thundered, his voice resonating like a clap of thunder. Elara took a deep breath, her heart pounding. "Your Majesty, I am here to show you that Zephyr is not a threat," she began, her voice steady despite the fear coursing through her. "He is my friend, and together we can bring peace to the kingdom." The king's brow furrowed. "Dragons are creatures of chaos and destruction. How can I trust that this one won't turn against us?" Elara stepped forward, her determination shining through. Because I know him, Zephyr has shown me nothing but kindness. He has protected me and the villagers. We can work together to create a future where humans and dragons coexist. The king leaned forward, skepticism etched on his face. And what if you are wrong? What if your bond brings ruin upon us? At that moment, a loud crash echoed from outside the castle. The ground trembled as a dark figure emerged from the shadows. A rogue dragon, its scales black as night, descended upon the kingdom with a fierce roar. Panic erupted among the villagers, and chaos ensued. Elara's heart raced as she realized the danger they faced. "Zephyr," she called, her voice filled with urgency. "We need to protect them." With a powerful leap, Zephyr took to the skies, his emerald scales glinting in the sunlight. He soared above the chaos, positioning himself between the rogue dragon and the frightened villagers. Elara watched in awe as Zephyr let out a fierce roar, challenging the intruder. The rogue dragon, fueled by aggression, lunged at Zephyr. The two dragons clashed in a dramatic display of power and grace, their roars echoing across the kingdom. Elara felt a surge of fear, but also a deep sense of pride. Zephyr was fighting for them all. "Your Majesty," Elara shouted, turning back to the king. "This is the proof we need. Zephyr is our protector." The king's expression shifted from skepticism to realization. He watched as Zephyr battled the rogue dragon, defending the kingdom with unwavering courage. The villagers rallied behind Elara, their voices rising in support for their beloved dragon. As the battle raged on, Zephyr's strength began to wane. Elara knew she had to act. "I believe in you, Zephyr," she called out, her voice carrying across the battlefield. "We can do this together." Summoning every ounce of courage, Elara closed her eyes and reached out to Zephyr through their bond. She envisioned their connection, a powerful force that could overcome any darkness. In that moment, Zephyr felt her unwavering belief, reigniting his spirit. With a renewed roar, Zephyr took to the skies once more, launching himself at the rogue dragon with a fierce determination. Elara watched as he fought valiantly, the bond between them shining brighter than ever. In a final clash, Zephyr unleashed a burst of fiery breath, driving the rogue dragon away from the kingdom. As the skies cleared, the villagers erupted in cheers, their hearts swelling with gratitude and awe. The king, witnessing the bravery of both Elara and Zephyr, realized the truth. "Perhaps there is more to this bond than I understood," he said, his voice softer now. "Perhaps it is time for a new beginning." In the aftermath of the battle, a sense of unity washed over the kingdom. The villagers gathered to celebrate, their hearts filled with gratitude for Elara and Zephyr. The king, now a changed ruler, addressed his people from the castle balcony. "Today, we witness the power of friendship and courage," he proclaimed, his voice strong yet compassionate. "Elara and Zephyr have shown us that bonds can transcend fear. From this day forward, let us embrace the dragons as allies, not enemies." Cheers erupted from the crowd, echoing through the valleys. Elara beamed with pride, her heart swelling with hope. Zephyr, standing tall beside her, let out a triumphant roar, a sound that resonated with joy and acceptance. As days turned into months, the kingdom flourished under this new alliance. Elara and Zephyr became symbols of harmony, bridging the gap between humans and dragons. Together, they taught the villagers about understanding and compassion, fostering a culture of coexistence. The children of the village grew up hearing tales of the girl who befriended a dragon, inspired by their courage to face the unknown. Festivals celebrating their bond became a cherished tradition, where villagers and dragons alike danced under the stars, celebrating the magic of friendship. Elara often stood at the edge of the forest, watching Zephyr soar through the skies, a reminder of the incredible journey they had undertaken together. She knew that their bond was not just a story of friendship. It was a testament to the power of believing in one another, even in the face of adversity. As she looked to the horizon, Elara felt a sense of peace. The world was vast, filled with possibilities, and she was ready to explore it alongside her beloved dragon. Together, they would continue to write their story, a story of hope, courage, and the enduring magic of friendship. And so, the tale of Elara and Zephyr became legend, a reminder to all that love and understanding can conquer even the deepest fears, forging bonds that last a lifetime.